I noticed one thing. We never really covered any loading animations on this channel before, and one of the main reasons is that most loader animations are honestly way too simple and overused. So in this video, we are going to create a fully shader based loading animation that feels way more premium and cinematic. This kind of effect you usually see on award-winning websites. And this is the exact effect we are going to build step by step in this video. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I also recently created a Discord community for creative developers. So if you are interested, you can join there and share your work, learn from others and connect with people in the same space. Alright, so without wasting any more time, let's get started. So first, inside my HTML, I am creating the main loader container, which will cover the entire screen before the website gets revealed. Then inside it, I am adding a canvas element, cause all of the animation and visual effects will be rendered directly inside the canvas using threejs and shaders. After that, I am adding a small click to reveal text, so user instantly understand that they need to interact with the screen to start the experience. After the loader, I am creating the hero section, which will contain the main heading of the website. This is basically the content that will get revealed once the loader animation finishes. That's all for the HTML. Now let's give it some styling. First, I am removing all the default margin and padding cause browsers add some extra spacing by default. Then I am setting box sizing to border box so sizes become more predictable. And after that, I am setting the HTML and body to full width and height since the loader needs to cover the entire screen. Next, I am styling the main loader container. I am making it full screen using 100 dph and positioning it fixed so it stays always top of the entire website. Then I am centering everything using flexbox and giving it a higher z-index so the loader appears above the content. I am also enabling pointer events cause we want user to interact with the loader before the reveal animation starts. And inside the loader, I am styling the text prompt by giving it a white color, a pointer cursor and a higher z-index so it stays visible above the canvas animation. Now I am styling the canvas element. I am positioning it absolutely and stretching it across the entire loader using inset 0, width and height set to 100%. And then I am giving it a lower z-index so the animation stays behind the text prompt. Finally, I am styling the hero section. I am making it full screen and centering everything using flexbox so heading stays perfectly at the center of the screen. And then I am giving the heading a responsive font size using VW units so it scales nicely across the different screen sizes. And that's it for the CSS. Now everything is ready for the WebGL animation part. Now I already created a separate shader file where I am storing both the vertex and fragment shader code. Keeping shaders inside a separate file makes the project much cleaner and easier to manage, especially when the shader logic starts becoming large and complex. Inside the vertex shader, I am simply passing the UV coordinates to the fragment shader and rendering a full screen plane. Then inside the fragment shader is where the actual magic happens. The pixelation effect, Perlin noise distortion, glowing edges and the entire reveal transition animation. Now let's move on to the main JS file where we will write the entire animation logic for the loader animation. First, I am importing threejs for the WebGL and GSAP for smooth animation. Then I am importing both the vertex and fragment shaders from the separate shader file. After that, I am selecting the canvas, the click prompt text, the main loader container from the DOM cause we will control all of them dynamically through JavaScript. Next, I am creating a new threejs scene with orthographic camera cause this effect is fully screen based and doesn't need any perspective distortion. After that, I am creating the WebGL renderer and attaching it directly to our canvas element. I am also enabling anti-aliasing for smoother edges and alpha for proper transparency support. And finally, I am setting the renderer size to full screen, optimizing the pixel ratio for better performance and setting the background to transparent. Next, I am creating all the shader uniforms, which are basically dynamic values passed from JavaScript into shaders. U transition controls the reveal animation, U resolution stores the screen size, U time handles the animation timing, and U border color controls the glow color. After that, I am creating a full screen plane geometry and attaching the shader material. And finally, I am creating the mesh and adding it into the scene so threejs can render the effect. Next, I am creating a resize handler so the canvas and shader stay perfectly responsive on every screen size. Whenever the window gets resized, I am updating the renderer dimensions, optimizing the pixel ratio again, and also updating the shader resolution uniform so the effect doesn't stretch or break. Now for the interaction part, first I am creating a flag so the reveal animation runs only once and user can't spam click multiple times. Then I'm listening for a click event on the window. Once the user clicks, I'm first animating the click to reveal text upward while fading it out using GSAP. And after that I'm animating the shader transition uniform from 0 to 1, which is what actually drives the reveal effect inside the fragment shader. Finally, once the animation completes, I'm disabling pointer events on the loader so user can't interact with the actual website underneath. Finally, I'm creating a threejs clock which gives me the elapsed time continuously for the shader animation. Then, inside the tick function, I'm updating the utime uniform on every frame so all the noise and animation effects stays dynamic in real time. After that, I'm rendering the scene and recursively calling the animation loop using request animation frame for smooth, continuous rendering. And with that, our loader animation is working perfectly. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next one.